Hello, everybody. I am going to go ahead and do my mandatory reporting check in for week 3. And the reason that I'm doing it this week is because it actually was pretty convenient because we had an issue at the agency to just recently come up where a patient advocate is working with a client and she wasn't sure if the situation the client is currently in is something that she should report to Adult Protective Services. So this week came in handy because I learned a lot and I was able to give her some valuable information from the information that I found on North Carolina's mandatory reporting. What I found on North Carolina's mandatory reporting is that any person or institution has the duty to report abuse, neglect, or exploitation of an adult. And that person doesn't necessarily have to have firsthand knowledge or have witnessed the neglect or abuse or exploitation of that adult. They just need to have good faith, good cause to make the report. And so, my question when I found out that information is that what if you have someone that you know is making reports not based on good faith? For example, previously I used to do child protective services, and all the time we would get people, for example, we would get ex husbands, um, neighbors, mistresses, grandparents making reports on families knowing that the reports were untrue. They were just making reports just to make the parents upset. And so, my question is what if you know that someone is not making a report in good faith? Can that person be prosecuted? Because North Carolina states that a person is free from prosecution or liability if they make a report in good faith. And so I was unable to find the answer to that question. So my first question to the class I want to pose to this week is that in your state, is there a law that says that someone can be prosecuted, they can be held liable, or anything like that if they are known to make false reports on families? And so let me get back to the situation at the agency. So, a patient advocate is working with a man. He is 44 years old and he has just been diagnosed with multiple myeloma. So, he is in a lot of pain right now and he is unable to work. He has to quit working because he's in a lot of pain. So, he has no family. He has no income. He has a mortgage of $500 that he's unable to pay. He also has medicines and medical bills that he's going to have to pay for, and he has no income and no one to help him do those things. And so the patient advocate stated that he is living with 6 pit bulls. And he says that he has the pit bulls because in his neighborhood there's a crack house directly across the street from where he lives. And his house was recently broken into and he only had like 2 or 3 pit bulls. So he went and got 6 pit bulls in hopes that no one would break into his house. And so our concern is first is that he's living with these animals, these pit bulls, and he's unable to feed himself, so he's unable to feed the dogs. He's unable to basically care for himself, let alone the dogs at this point. So the question I want to pose, the second question that I want to pose to the class today is, do you all feel like that is something that we need to go ahead and report to Adult Protective Services? And the reason why I asked that because I found also in North Carolina law that for adults, any adult that you think is neglected, abused, or being exploited, what's reportable is if that person is lacking essential services, has the inability to obtain essential services, and they are without someone who can help them or will help them get those essential services. And essential services are any services to help them safeguard or maintain their social, medical, psychiatric, legal services to help them safeguard or maintain their physical and mental well-being. I hope you all understood that. So those are my two questions for the class this week, and I'm looking forward to getting some good feedback from you all. Thank you.